Welcome back. You're watching ILFL Soccer Night on a Monday night with myself, Cameron Zaman. We still got Rashid and Nanu here. We can't get rid of them. And Shiraz Bhai has joined us together with Nandan Bhai. So thank you for being on the show. Yes, our very highly, eagerly awaited Summer League began on Sunday. And this year it's a long season because there are 10 teams in one division. A few of the existing teams are there. A few of the new teams have come in. And before we discuss the results, Nanu, can we say anything about the existing teams and new teams?
There are some fairly new teams that came in. One of the new teams called Italian FC, I have to say is one of my favorites because they all speak in Italian. They might be Bengali, but they're all sort of Italian expats, you know, and they're from places like Venice and Rome and places like that. So I don't know the background as to how the team was formed, but all I know is that a lot of the people who came from Italy, they just got together and said, right, you know, we play great football. Let's show these guys how we can play football. And actually watched them play the first game end to end, and they do play some great footballing, but it's just they lack the experience, you know. And they were up against a very difficult side, you know, St. Catherine's, and they conceded a lot of goals. But from what I can see, they have the individual brilliance, and they can play, they can move the ball around, they can connect passes, they have everything. It's just that they can't be that clinical up front, and I think the defense is slightly weak as well because the fullbacks are just not pacey enough, you know. And St. Catherine's, they just run at you.
That's ironic because normally the Italian defense is rock solid, isn't it? So
yeah, it is, but and unfortunately that isn't the case, you know.
I think just to add to that, I think the team itself is a very, very young side. The manager himself is only 23 years old, and most of the players are between the age of 16 and 18. It's refreshing to see a young side not feared, doing a challenge, coming into Summer League, and I think going forward, within a year or 2 years down the line, they'll be a good side because they have got potentially a lot of talent. It's just because they're fairly so young and inexperienced. But it's good to see in midfield in particular, I like the players who are playing. In at the back, because they're young, they're still inexperienced. They're physically not really geared up for bigger players. But it's a credit to them, and hopefully, you know, they get better results in the coming weeks.
The other new team, Rash, is Boundary, isn't it? This is the first time they're playing.
No, Boundary played last season. Yeah.
They played last season in summer?
Yeah, they played last season as
okay.
well, yeah.
All right, so are there any other new teams there on that list?
Walthamstow Red Star is the first time as well. They played in the winter.
Yeah.
Again, I think they're taking an opportunity to try out players, give some of the other players a chance. So again, the ethos behind the Summer League is to give players a trial to join the team and give other new players a chance to play. I think they're using that, and I think they've done quite well on the result itself. So Walthamstow Red Star, Italian, are the two actual new teams for this summer itself. And obviously we'll go over the results and we can discuss further.
Yeah, so if we quickly run through the results, I don't know if they can be brought up on the screen. Okay, well, we can't get it on the screen, but we can certainly speak them out and discuss them. And the results of the first Sunday of the Summer League are as follows. Ace 2, AMY 2, Arsenal 2, Robin Hood Tigers 6, Boundary 1, Hawk and Eagle FC 1. We just discussed Italian 0, St. Catherine's 9, Walthamstow Red Star 6, Fish Island 0. There are some indifferent scores there, Ash. A couple of big scores and a few very tight games there.
Yeah, not surprising with Robin Hood Tigers and St. Catherine's. I think they've got the experience, they've got the squad, expected to achieve a top 2 finish, at least in their opinion. And in my opinion as well, you know, I know Robin Hood just about finished second last year, so the expectations there and the scores are not surprising. With the likes of Hawk and Eagle and Ace, I expected 3 points. Expected wins, to be honest. But being the first game, new players, new oppositions, being a hot day may have affected, but I think they'll be disappointed out of all the other teams, Ace and Hawk and Eagle. But I think they will fancy their chances to win this championship based on the size of the club, based on the record and history. Draw is not the worst, but I think it just puts a little hinder on the challenge itself.
Yeah, it's, like I said, it's a long season because it's only one division of 10 teams, so that, you know, really you've got 9 games. And although it looks a long way away, I don't think you can afford to slip up many of the games.
You need a good start in any competition, especially in the league. You need to get the 3 points in the bag first. You know, put the pressure on. Now it's the other way. Now it's a catch-up game. So we'll see what happens next week, how they regroup, how they regather themselves against other oppositions.
Walthamstow Red Star had a good winter season. They lost narrowly in the Challenge Cup to Crusaders.
Yeah.
So what can we expect of them in the summer?
That team is a massive team. They've got a massive setup behind them, and I think again, I spoke to the management on the day itself. Again, they're using the summer league to give chances and try new players. So their focus, I don't think, is on the winning the championship itself, although they would like to try at least. But the key thing is to get teams playing pre-season games and get new players, etc. So I think the ambition will be different with Walthamstow Red Star. But I think in week 3 or 4 that might change depending on where they are in the league. So we'll see how things progress.
Okay, we seem to be having a bit of difficulty with the slide, so we won't bother with them. Ace, again, a good side. Are we expecting good things of them?
I think we are. We will definitely. Ace is one of those long-established teams. They've been around for a while. They've been in the league before. They moved out. They came back again, and they're doing what they do best, which is great footballing. And I expect a lot from them. But one of the teams that I wanted to mention was today was Arsenal. They started a couple of seasons ago in the summer, and initially in the first season they didn't do very well, and I think they only had 1 or 2 wins. They played all throughout the winter, and they had a very bad start, but I think they kind of finished relatively strong at the end. We always knew that a young team, it takes a few seasons for them to get the foothold. This season, to my surprise, I haven't actually seen some of the players before. I only recognise 1 or 2, and they've grown quite a bit as well. I mean, physically they look a lot stronger and bigger, and they seem more determined and very hungry to win. But one of the things that they conceded 6 goals against Robin Hood, one of the title favourites, and Robin Hood, they can score a lot of goals, as we know. But the one thing that I saw with Arsenal is that they don't actually give up. This previous 2 seasons, they were quite easily giving up. They would score a few goals, and then they would just sort of hold back, and then they would just concede 1 goal after another goal, and that's it, But this game that I saw yesterday that they played, they were quite determined. One of the goals, the first goal that they actually scored was quite fantastic, because the keeper dropped it, and before it even hit the ground, one of the strikers just headed inside the back of the net, and that was a really good goal. So yeah, they've got an excellent structure. They've got a fantastic coach that works very, very hard, and he's committed. He's every week in, week out, and he travels a few hours every Sunday back and forth to make the see how this team sort of performs, and that sheer dedication will let them see go somewhere.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned Arsenal, because it's a great example of a team that comes to play football, enjoy itself, rather than worry too much about winning and losing. So that's a good sign of a team, and like you said, from last season to now they've improved, they've grown, and things can only get better for them. Are we able to show the league table on the screen now or not? Okay, I was going to show you the league table on the screen, but I'll just have to read them out to you. So after week 1, we've got St. Catherine's sitting pretty at the top with 3 points, Walthamstow Red Star 3 points, Robin Hyder Tigers on 3 points. So we've got 3 teams heading the top there. Then we've got AMY, Ace, Boundary, Hawk and Eagle all on 1 point each, and then we've got the rest really, Arsenal, Fish Island and Italian. Like I said, it is a long season, so I'm pretty sure things will change quite quickly. So these are the fixtures for the Sunday to come, this Sunday. So we've got Arsenal facing Italian, we've got Fish Island facing Ace, we've got Hawk and Eagle facing AMY, we've got St. Catherine's facing Walthamstow Red Star, and we've got Robin Hood Tigers taking on Boundary. There's one there that's striking, isn't it? Looks like first versus second, quite early on.
Yeah, which one are you talking about?
St. Catherine's versus
Walthamstow
Walthamstow Red Star.
I think they've played each other a number of times in the winter, so it'll be interesting to see how they carry on. I think St. Catherine's did a bit of damage to Walthamstow Red Star midway through the season, and since then Walthamstow Star struggled in the league itself. So I'm sure Walthamstow Red Star will be looking forward to the game, and St. Catherine's will want to make sure that they sustain the top position. So that should be a quite crunch fixture itself.
Okay, great. What can we expect of the 2 teams that drew Sunday, Hawk and Eagle and AMY?
I think Hawking will be looking desperately to get 3 points, because obviously with their caliber, with the team they have, they can't afford to slip up again. So this is a make sure must-win sort of. I know it's early in the season, but they have to make sure. AMY are not an easy side. They are quite organised, a half-decent side, because they gave Ace a run for their money last week. So Hawking Eagle need to be on the day, be ready, and make sure they get 3 points. Otherwise, it'll put a little damper on the whole season.
Arsenal Italian should be a nice friendly game, right, Nanu?
That would be a nice game, actually. I mean, to be honest with you, they play similar type of footballing. It's a very attractive type of footballing. And even if both of these teams, I've seen them play. Even if they're losing by 2 goals or 3 goals, they don't actually stick their head down and they don't complain. They just carry on playing. I mean, I saw the Italian manager last week. Although they were like 5 or 6-0 down, the manager said, "Look, we're not making any changes now. I'll decide when to make the changes," and then he didn't make the change until quite well into the actual second half, So there's qualities in there, and I think that is probably one of the games to watch. If you want to watch some sort of attractive footballing, that's the game to watch, because both of these teams have very good feet and they can move the ball around very nicely.
Gents, on my right, you're very quiet. Is it because you don't have a senior team in the Summer League?
We're thinking of having one very soon, so...
Good. I mean, I think you should, because then you stay involved throughout the year.
Sure.
And obviously, with legs, giving way and going, you need the youngsters to come to the vet scene, don't you? So you need to have that structure and system. Do you follow the Summer League at all?
Yeah, we do. We're working on it. I left it to the manager to organize.
Last season, actually, I went to watch some of the matches. This season, I haven't been. We thought about this, then we thought it could be too much, because it's open age and it's going to be...
It's difficult to start off with.
It is.
And start is difficult.
Because we are so much focused on the other
vets,
league and the bets, and we got future plan for the bets, so we're mainly focusing on the bets.
Okay. Great. Well, gents, that's all we have time for. Thank you to Nanu, Rashid, as usual. Thank you to the two brothers on my right. Thank you to everybody at home for watching. Thank you to the crew in the back who make all this happen. Until next Monday, good night, stay safe and stay healthy.